I think people have slowly come to the fact that you need to tell these stories. I always promised Miss Maribel. She said, if I give you this Bible, you got to promise me you'll tell this story. Knew Miss Maribel as a kid, because her and my grandmother grew up down in Armstead. And Miss Maribel got sick. They thought she was going to die. And they sold her house, they sold her car, they sold her furniture. All they didn't sell was her books and papers and pictures and stuff like that. They boxed that up. After she pulled through, they got her a house up on 6th Street up on this and wasn't no more than a block from us. So they had these boxes, some pictures and stuff, like personal stuff. I was helping them put books up, and in this one box was this Bible, and it just fell to this page. And it had these 4 men that got killed on the same day. And I said, Miss Maribel, what happened to them? Did they burn up in a fire or something? She said, no, boy, they were lynched. I said, Miss Maribel, what's lynched? My grandmother said, leave Maribel alone. You just meddle all damn time. Just meddle. Just leave Maribel alone. And that ended it that day, but I got back up there and talking to Miss Maribel and talking to Miss Maribel. But that's where I got started on Rufus Bryder. And the funniest thing about it, the Bible never mentioned Rufus Bryder. It just mentioned these 4 guys that got lynched. Rufus Bryder was a young man who was born down in Armstead to Fletcher Bryder. And Rufus's family lived down the road from Cunningham. And Rufus had went to work as a farmhand. Now, Cunningham didn't own the farm. He was just the overseer of the farm. The farm belonged to Dr. Jesse Russell. Cunningham's wife's family owned some of Rufus's family during slavery. Bryder worked for Cunningham for about a year until one day they got in an argument over wages.
When slavery ended, 1865, 1866, for a lot of the ex-slaves, many of them stayed in the very same communities. Again, that was home for them, where they had been slaves. And so that meant, in most of these instances, working out relationships with the very people who had owned them.
That was a real fear and a real problem after the Civil War, or perceived to be a potential problem, was controlling black labor. How can we extract that labor when they're free and they're not forced to work for us? So there are a variety of tactics that were used to keep blacks on plantations, things like sharecropping and cropland systems, or this debt peonage, that after buying tools or having to take loans from different store owners to buy tools, or from the landowner for things like and animals, that even after working the entire year, they still don't have enough to pay off these debts for these things from the profits that they make through agriculture. So those are more kind of coercive tactics. kind of from slave owner to employer. So still controlling labor, but different types and different manifestations of that.